Guys, hope everyone's doing well, enjoying your summer. So for those that, like myself, have been traveling for 4th of July, we've been driving all over. What you have noticed is that gas prices has spiked since last year. So depending on where you live in the country, I'm in Florida, gas prices for regular was almost $3 a gallon. So if you're in California, other places, gas prices are even higher. Gas prices aside, I want to talk about Costco. Really on two big topics. One is about saving money because of inflation currently, and two, what you can do from the standpoint of investing in Costco as a company so that you can actually grow that money. Now, I'm going to talk a little more as well about comparing Costco, Amazon, and Walmart. And I'm also going to talk to you about my point of view of Costco as a company. My neighbors work in Costco. I want to share some feedback with you on that. And then also, if you do not have a Costco card, think about if it's well worth it from my experience in sharing this with you, if you think that $60 is well spent for a Costco membership. So here we go into today's video. If you like what we're talking about, please, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and help me grow. So let's get into Costco as a company. So for those that may not know what Costco is, I'm gonna just describe in this. It is a warehouse and you can find everything, almost everything in Costco, and everything is supersized. Many of you guys know gas prices is going up. And if you have invested in oil companies since last year, I know you've been doing very well. For those that are really doing a lot of driving, you've noticed that it is hurting your budget when gas prices, especially regular, is close to $3 a gallon. And if your car takes 93 premium gas, you'll notice that it is close to almost $4 in some places. In California, you guys are just off the charts. So we're going to talk a little more about what you can do to save money. If you think about that $60 of a membership that you're spending, consider the driving that you're doing, especially right now, the Great American Road Trip is in place. It's been a summer that everybody wants to be on the road. If you're not flying, a lot of folks are still kind of conscientious about health and also the coronavirus. So they're going to do a lot of road trips, and gas prices is one of those things that's going to factor into your budget. What I have done, and this is a little road trip tidbit, driving back from California to Florida one time, is what I did was about every 250 miles, I would plot on my map where there is a Costco for me to gas up. It helped me a lot. I mean, it probably helped me save 40, 50 bucks driving across the country at that time. This is about 6 years ago. Now, if you're doing a lot of mileage on your road trips, it's a good place to rest. It's a good place to go in, get some food, and also gas up. It's gonna help you save some money. So if you take a look at what Costco's saving is per gallon, it's about 10% usually. So think of the course of this 2,000-mile road trip, you're saving about 10% off of your gas bill. It could be useful for food, and let's talk about what my perspective is on Costco. So I have some neighbors that work at Costco, and they are very, very happy. They've been there for quite a bit of time. Some are going from 5 years to 15 years. Now, you don't hear about things like this from Amazon, where people are talking about peeing in bottles. And I am also, for full disclosure, an Amazon shareholder. It's just kind of bad publicity. The third thing that I do want to talk to you about is an experience that I've had in buying tires. Now, as a part of this Great American Road Trip this summer, a lot of folks are probably checking tires, needing new tires. Prices have gone up. Costco always does their rotations. If everyone's aware of it, they do Michelin $150 off 1 month, and then they do Bridgestone $150 off the next month, which is really helpful if you're looking for a set of tires, whether it's SUV, your cars, you are saving $150 right there. So recently I have a set of tires on a car that it's on my Honda that was brought in for service. It needed a tire rotation, and also I just want to make sure everything was balanced because I'm doing a lot more driving in that vehicle with Marby. I was just walking by to see if my car was ready. I was fully expecting these guys to use impact tools to take off the lug nuts and put on the lug nuts. For those that are really big work on your car individuals like myself, we always like to torque our lug nuts by hand first and then using a torque wrench. And the reason is so that we don't over torque it, we don't cross thread it, and then have to rip out one of those bolts. It's expensive and a pain in the butt really to get it serviced. What I've noticed was the manager himself, he was a little short-handed, but he was working on it, but he was taking the time and diligence to actually tighten my lug nuts with a torque wrench. He was doing the cross pattern. I was watching him, and it's just amazing that even though they were busy, they treat my almost 17-year-old Honda with the same diligence if it was a Bentley that rolled in. And it is really good to see that. That leads to me talking about why I think Costco is a good company to invest in. Okay, so I'm taking a look at some Costco numbers here with you guys. So if you look at the 5-year chart, if you invest in Costco, it was a little under 200. We go back 5 years. It's gone up, as of closing today, 145%. And you also see in this chart, there's a big dip in March of 2021 when it was down to almost close to just about 325 at that time. By taking a look at this, if you also invested just with the recent dip in March of 2021, it was about $320 a share, and currently it's trading about $410. So just in the last 6 months, you would be looking at a very decent return with the stock price. There's also a tremendous amount of brand loyalty. And this leads me to now talking about something that you may be interested in, comparing the charts of Walmart and Costco. Those are two big competitors because they do online sales, but at the same time, they also do brick and mortar. There's a store that you actually walk into. If you take a look at the 1-year chart of comparing Walmart to Costco, Walmart is up 7.53% versus Costco. It's almost 27% just on a 1-year basis. And if you look at just even comparing this on a 5-year basis, they're both doing very well. Costco, as I said, 5 years was 146%, and Walmart is 94%. Both strong performances over 5 years, but Costco is still doing much better. Now let's take a look at comparing Costco to Amazon. I love Amazon and just how easy everything is, but there's also a market I think that Amazon is not hitting that Costco is always going to be very strong in. So let's take a look at the 5 and also 1-year comparison of just these two companies. So if you look at the 5-year chart, there's just obviously no comparison. Amazon just blows everybody away. Amazon's return is 378% over 5 years, whereas Costco is 146%. But if you look at the 1-year, they're very close. 1-year Costco is 26.8 versus Amazon's 22.59. So they're neck and neck. I want to tie this video in of all these points that I've made. So people are happy working at Costco. The products they have, people just love in terms of just their customer service. You can bring things back. They have a very good return policy, just don't abuse it, obviously. And then with the Great American Road Trip right now, there's opportunity to save some money on gas over the course of just the driving that you're gonna do. And then also, from what I've seen, just the level of customer service in the store is just really good. You see some buying opportunities when there's pullbacks to invest in a really good, solid company. So I hope this helps you in terms of the Great American Road Trip and also what you can do to grow your money. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this helpful in terms of just helping you make some financial decisions, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you soon. And until the next time, happy hustling towards your dreams. Take care.